Well, we're going to try this again. Good evening, everybody. It's another edition of 97 Octane Hockey. Tonight we're joined by Paige Bednorz, the queen of Kelowna Rockets social media, and hopefully Restream doesn't shit the bed on us here and we're out of the gate. I guess I'll get right to it right off the bat. Joined with me is Chad Graham and Bob Schmidt, as always. And the first question I got to ask Paige is, when you first got out to Kelowna, there was someone in your life that you couldn't take with you. Is he a full-time part of your life now?
Hang on.
This is the most important part of the night. Charles is in charge.
This is my assistant. This is Charlie.
Perfect.
People always ask me if I have people that help me with my job, and yeah, Charlie is definitely a big part of it.
I'm already better, and I know you're better knowing that Charlie's there full time.
Yeah, he's been a great addition here the last year for sure. He's been a welcome addition to my condo. We're zipping around 100 miles an hour at 3 a.m. There he goes right now.
Perfect. So, I don't know if there's content creators watching us tonight, or maybe in the future. I want to know sort of the ins and outs of what you do and your whole your whole job, I guess. Like we can nerd out here, and I kind of want to. Like I want to pick your brain on some things, but let us know.
Yeah, Dirsa wants to hog the show, but that's just not going to happen.
Chad's going to want to talk some golf. That's definitely going to have to happen.
Oh, we're going to be talking some golf, my girl.
Absolutely, I'm here for it. Okay, so you want to start off with what I do for work first? We can get into the nitty gritty and then the fun stuff after. Is that
Chad gets 5 minutes of golf time with you for sure. That's got to happen.
I think I negotiated closer to 15, but we'll go with 5. Sure.
I might extend it to 7.
Perfect.
You've already
take the floor.
You've already cut into it, Chad. This is already part of your golf time. See, now you're wasting time. Paige,
no.
Paige, tell us about your role with Kelowna.
Okay, yeah. So my title is Communications and Social Media Director. So it's kind of 2 roles pushed into one. I do all the communications, and then so that's press releases, articles on the website, anything that's kind of going out just news-wise. And then I also handle all of the social media side of it. So I'm also creating all of the digital content and so forth that you see. Running all the platforms, like starting TikTok from the ground up a couple of years ago. Making sure that everything is pushing out smoothly in terms of news and everything like that. And then I also do all our graphics as well too.
Is TikTok bad for the ego? Because it seems like the easiest platform to get lots of views on, and it inflates your ego, or at least it does for me.
You know what? I love TikTok as a creator. As you know what, the other platforms you have to. I always say you have to pay to play, right? So if you want your content to show to people, you got to pay. And TikTok, it shows to everybody. It doesn't care how much you spend.
Right. I guess in your content creation, I'm gonna really geek out here, but what programs are you using? Because I guess
Um,
if you're going down the economical route of TikTok, I use DaVinci Resolve for a bunch of video editing and that. I'm just wondering where you're at with that kind of stuff too.
yeah, so I use CapCut. It's free, super easy. You can overlay audio, you can import audio, you can cut, you can have it. It's actually kind of unreal how it's a free program. And I mean, a lot of my friends, they kind of chuckle because I'm just editing away on my phone, whereas they're on MacBooks editing, and it's a really really simple program. And I mean, the nice part about it is that you can cut it there and then post it to all the platforms, and you don't have to worry about the watermark coming from TikTok over to Instagram. I mean, sometimes I get a little lazy and I do just upload direct, but CapCut is definitely the way that I handle most of our editing for our reels and TikTok.
Resolve, like there's a free version, and then there's kind of a studio version that's like if you're in Hollywood and you really need to be hardcore editing, then you can. Um, I like it. It's awesome, but you're not doing it off your phone. It's too intensive. It stresses my laptop out sometimes. Like it's crazy.
How many different platforms are you using then with Kelowna?
I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. So you got Facebook, right, which is like just kind of like news dumping kind of, and then you got Twitter, which is really good for like live posting during games, and then TikTok obviously, and then I'm forgetting about one. Anyways, and then yeah, we just got on Threads because Threads is new, right? So there's 4 or 5 platforms going for sure. And I mean, you don't post the same stuff to every single platform. It's kind of some stuff will do well here, whereas it does well there. And I mean, every platform kind of has its own driver, and it's not always the same, right?
What is the separation, I guess, between because you have kind of a two-tiered kind of job description, right? Your communications in charge of that, and social media.
Yeah.
So what is the communications aspect of your job?
Yeah, so just like when we have a trade and stuff like that, I'm the person who's doing the PR kind of and the press releases that come out for that, or so I'm handling the hockey ops side of that as well. And then if we're sending out maybe to like our fans, we'll send out an e-blast or something like that. So just keeping them in the loop on things that are happening. And I mean, it's definitely cool having both sides of it and doing both sides of it and seeing the way that everything works and kind of learning for the next level.
You're well cut out for that, because that's a delicate job, and you have to be kind of really empathetic to kind of both sides in breaking trades and all that, and you're knowing you're really cut out for that.
Yeah.
Who communicates that to you, Paige, when there's a trade coming or something like that? Like, who lets you know this is what's going on?
Yeah, so our general manager, once the trade agreement is signed and finalized, and then I'm kind of point once it's all done and finalized, and then I'm given the details of what's coming our way, what's going their way, kind of get the press release ready, and all the information about the players that are coming out or going in or the picks, and then calling up the other team, and then we tee up a time, and sometimes it's determined by the team and other times it's determined by what's going on. So if it's trade deadline day, obviously we're not going to announce a trade at the exact same time as another team. So you got to kind of call the league and figure out where to fit it in. And then, at the same time, you're getting the graphics ready. So you're getting that graphic ready to announce, the trade it's happening. And then you're getting the graphic ready to say, goodbye to the guy if you have a guy going out kind of thing. And then, you're just waiting for that time to drop. So you've got 4 tabs open, you've got the website open, you've got all the social medias, you've got everything ready, and you can't push any of those buttons before, say, 2 p.m.
So he gives you a call or texts you and say, this is what's going on, or?
Yeah, so sometimes it's a phone call. I mean, I've gotten phone calls, later in the evening when we've had trades that are after hours, or other times I'm in the office, so I'm right there and then.
Is that who you report to then, as the manager, or who do you report to?
Yeah, so I kind of have three different bosses within the Rockets. We have obviously I've got the hockey ops side, so our general manager who I'm also working closely with, and then I've got our business side as well, so our vice president of business development, Gavin, that we work with, and then also our marketing director that I work really closely with as well too.
So going back to a little bit of nerding out, are you packing around a camera and taking pictures? And if so, what are we rocking? What are we using?
You know what? I just use a little Canon Rebel TI5. It works fine. I don't really shoot games. I've shot a few of them. During our hub season, we didn't have a photographer, so I was shooting quite a bit of that. I was kind of loaned a camera and learning on the fly. And that presented some challenges in itself because the way that the hub season worked was we weren't allowed on the half of the building that the players were on, so like where their dressing rooms were. So there was kind of like an imaginary line down center ice, so you had to shoot through the glass. And at our level, we don't have those fancy holes in all of our rinks. Our rink doesn't have those holes. So it was a bit of a challenge learning how to shoot, and I just kind of shoot our practice stuff. I'm really fortunate. We have a really talented photographer, Steve Dunsmore, and he's been with us for a couple seasons now. And I think the best thing about the Western Hockey League is everybody's always crafting their trade and getting better at it, and you just see everybody's just getting better and better every single year.
Yeah, kind of doing this, you start with whatever you can for a webcam, and then you upgrade, and then.
Hey, I was impressed. I jumped on. I was like, "Whoa, they got a full-fledged show going!" Like, I'm proud of you, Dirsa, man.
Well, I mean, it's at the beginning. I mean, I was talking to Dash about kind of the grassroots of this whole thing. When you first start out, it's pretty rough, and you try to just kind of get it better. The program that we use now does a lot of the work for us, so that's nice. Except I don't know why you couldn't hear us. I think that was a program issue. I think that's the only thing it was.
It's probably a user error. You can blame me.
No, we're not throwing you under the bus. Not everything is, just sometimes there's glitches and whatever. But as you do this, you start looking at your own work and dissecting that and trying to figure out how to make it better. And then, so I end up watching a lot of YouTube stuff, and you see some content creators, and then you fall in love with photography and what they're using for that. And now I want a drone and all this, and it just it never stops. Oh yeah.
So yeah, let's not inflate Dirsa's head any more than it is. It's already tough enough to get him through a door.
He barely fits in the frame now. Sheesh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, am I allowed to nerd out now, or when's my turn?
No, you can talk some shop now if you want.
All right. So, how does a beautiful Edmonton girl find herself playing golf in Kansas?
So
she's good.
It's not that easy. My brother played NCAA for BYU, and it was a lot of work to get down there. So I'm really curious.
Yeah, so you're really well versed in it. So I played. I don't know if you're familiar with the McLennan Ross tour in Alberta. Kind of that's the junior tour that I played on.
Sure am.
And then I went to Ross Shep. I was part of the athletic, the elite athlete program with the golfer there in the golf academy. Sorry as I stumble here. And my goal was to go to the States. I wanted a golf scholarship. So I hit, that grade 12 year and started getting offers and talking to schools. And there was a lot of, NCAA, NAIA kind of programs that were reaching out, but they were 4-year programs, and they all seem to kind of come with the same kind of offer of, okay, well, we'll give you 1 year, X amount of dollars for 1 year, and then we'll revisit in year 2, and then same cycle for 3 and 4. So the one school that I was actually kind of interested in, their tuition was $30,000 American, and they offered me $15,000. So I was still paying $15,000 out of pocket, which is a lot of money. And I didn't really want to play with that in the back of my head all year. I didn't think that would be very much fun. The pressure of, well, if I don't play well, I'm not going to get that good of an offer, and I can't afford to come back next year, kind of thing. So I went the JUCO route. Junior college, and I got a really good offer from a school in Dodge City, Kansas there, and they offered to pay my books and tuition for my first year. And all I had to pay was food and fees and housing, and it was okay. Where do I sign? Let's go.
Yeah, you ended up getting a great degree that obviously has been doing well for you in your current endeavor, which is awesome. So, how do you find Kansas golf compared to playing in the Okanagan? Because that is probably some of the best golf in the world.
Yeah, like when I got down to Kansas, I didn't realize it was windier than Chicago there. So we're going out for the first round, and I swear it was 46 degrees Celsius, and we made it through the first round. I couldn't even breathe. And by second hole, they're like, "Well, we're taking you in because you're gonna faint. You're out of water already. We got to go in. Let's go Canadian." I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's go." And then it was
Take me to my damn igloo. Take me to my igloo.
and it was windy. Like I would hit flop shots, like 6-degree wedge. It's supposed to go straight up, straight down. I've never had a golf ball come back at me in the wind until then.
Over your head. Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, and then like I grew up in Edmonton, right? So it's somewhat flat, and I didn't really play too much after college. I kind of I didn't really love the game as much when you were kind of using it to pay for school. It wasn't the same as growing up and just chasing the ball for fun. It was a lot more pressure. So yeah, when I moved to Kelowna, everyone was like, "Well, we got to go play." So I've started playing a lot more in the last couple of years, and I'm really thankful. We've got some really good gems out here that aren't super mainstream, and they're a lot of fun to go out and play.
Yeah, gems is an understatement out there. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite golf I ever played was out there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm super happy. I'm a golf instructor, so this podcast has been exciting me since Mike told me that we were coming on.
Are you based out of Edmonton then?
I am. Yeah.
Where do you teach out of?
I teach out of Billy D's. Do a little work at Countryside, and I'm a member at Yager.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But my brother played the NCAA and BYU. He went from there to the Hooters tour in Florida, and now he's working. He was actually one of the producers of Big Break.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So and he's still at the Golf Channel now, working with Rory McIlroy and the Golf Pass and the Golf Now and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this show excited me.
Well, I'm not as good as your brother. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty good.
My one little tidbit is, so when I was 13, I qualified for the World Remax Long Drive Championships down in Minneapolis that year, and Jamie Sadlowski was there right before he turned.
Nice.
He was like 16 or 17, and that guy could crush the ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. He can definitely beat on a golf ball. That guy.
Yeah.
With whatever club he put in his hand, it don't matter.
Oh, it was unreal. I remember being like, I think I was 12 going on 13, and just watching him crush the ball was just absolutely crazy. And just things that you'd never seen before that he could do to it.
No, and the cool part is that his roots are in hockey.
I know.
Yeah. His roots are in hockey. That's the best part.
Well, I think golfers play hockey during their off time, right? Because hockey guys play golf, so I imagine it's the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I can pound the ball like 230 yards, and then you put me on the blue line, and I can't get a slap shot off the ice. I can't. I've had a couple of our coaches have come out and they're trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, it's not like a golf ball. It's way harder.
So that's my next question, then, is how did you go from a golf girl growing up in Edmonton? Obviously in Edmonton, you're a hockey girl because that's an Edmonton thing, but to get into the field you're in now, what brought you there from college?
Yeah, so I graduated in 2013 from Dodge. I had a radio broadcasting degree, and I started pounding the pavement on radio jobs. I had interned with 630 Ched in between my 2 years, and news wasn't really what I wanted to do, and social media was kind of starting to take off at that point, and it was 2016, and I still couldn't get a job in radio. And every time I would write to a program director, they'd always say, "Oh yeah, we love your cover letter, send us your demo," and then I would never hear anything back from them. And so at that point, I kind of closed the door on the radio side of it and said, "You know what, it's not going to happen, but I can write, so let's lean into that." So then it was the summer of 2016, and I had a friend who had previously known somebody who had interned with the Rockets, and I have some family in Kelowna. So I just reached out to the Rockets and said, hey, like, I think I was like 23 or 24 at the time, and said, like, hey, I want to come intern. I want to come work for free. You don't have to pay me. I'm just looking to get my foot in the door. And they said, yeah, you can come out in January 2017. We've got a window there. They've got one student coming in and one student going out kind of thing. So I came in for that month, and I just wrote content like crazy for them and kind of learned what the role was kind of all about. And then right after that, I got a job with a marketing agency back home in Edmonton. So I went home to Edmonton and I worked for them for about a year and 9 months on Jasper Ave. And in October 2018, the Rockets, they'd just been awarded the 2020 Memorial Cup, and they said, do you want to come back and take over the role and kind of, implement what you've learned from the marketing agency and ramp up the social media side of it? That's what we're looking for. And I said, absolutely. And I jumped on a plane and I've never looked back.
Not a girl. Good for you.
So a year and 9 months you were back here. Were you still keeping in touch with them somehow, or had you made that kind of impression where they're like, we need to get this girl back as soon as there's a hole?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I must have made a really good impression and just kind of stayed in touch with them and let them know what I was kind of, learning at the marketing agency. They were kind of training me on the fly with the whole social media side of it. And it just worked out really, really well.
So my last question on the professional end, after this is all said and done, can you give me a tutorial on how to get on the Twitters?
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure Dirsa's he's pretty smart.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, but if I give him that, then it's just too much. We don't want to go down that road. Like I said, look at the head in the screen. It's like it's literally not fitting. So I can't give him that.
Absolutely.
I'll move back.
Keep going.
No, that's amazing. I'm really happy for you. I've been excited for this podcast since Mike told me you were coming on. I'm a really big fan. You've done a great job with Kelowna. Unfortunately, I'm kind of a bit more of a Kamloops fan, but I have to admit that.
Oh no, Chad.
I know.
Chad.
I know. I played in the BCJHL, so I've got a big. I love the dub in BC. I think it's a really good program. I think that a lot of great teams come from BC, so I love that you're in Kelowna. And actually, their program is really impressive. I love Kelowna. I think the town's amazing for one, and but their program's obviously proven to be very good, which is amazing. I love it. Great.
Yeah.
So, but you're not going to pull the Kamloops out of me, unfortunately. That's just not going to happen.
So what came first, Paige? The love of the game or the love of journalism?
The game, for sure. Oh yeah. When I was trying to decide on what I wanted to do when I grew up, for major wise in college, I originally started off as a sports management major because I figured that would probably somehow get me into hockey faster. And I was kind of sitting there after my first semester and was like, I'm not really enjoying this so much, and just decided to chase the radio side of it and thought, some way, somehow I'll work my way into hockey. I don't know how or where or when, and I mean, it worked out eventually.
Whoa. So you're saying all those armchair general managers on Facebook are wrong? Are you saying that those guys, if they went to school, would realize that it's not quite as easy as they think? Is that what you're saying to me right now?
It's quite the industry.
This is breaking news. Breaking
news. Let's get the top paid player in the NHL. We have no cap space, but we should just get him.
Yeah.
Wow, Facebook, you rule.
Bouchard's a bum. Trade him.
Yeah, Bouchard's a bum. Sorry, had to throw my little tidbit of anger in that one.
So how many Draisaitl jerseys do you still see in the stands there?
It's crazy. My office backs into the store there, and so we don't sell like pre-done jerseys. They're all blank, and then you can customize them. And we actually have to have Leon's name in the book still for pricing wise, because we have at least, I'd say, like, during the season, at least a month or two that somebody sends out for customization.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Don't tell Kamloops, but I have one too.
That's awesome. Well, we've
just don't tell
we've
them.
actually reached out to Jamie McLennan and hoping that he'll do me the honor of coming on the show, because I used to watch him when I lived in Milk River in southern Alberta, and he played for the Lethbridge Hurricanes, and I rocked a red Lethbridge Hurricanes jersey for about 15 years. It came to about here, but I still wore it.
Was it the one with the Tasmanian Devil?
No, just their old red jersey with a hockey stick on it, and yeah.
And windburn.
Yeah, it was a pretty basic jersey, but I love that thing. The colors were cool. Like, it was almost like the reverse of the New York Rangers, like red, white, and blue, but the red was the dominant.
I'm Googling it now. I'm just trying to think.
Google won't even know. It's it's prehistoric, Paige.
So unfortunately, since you're a guest of the show, you're obligated to answer a question of mine that is maybe my last one, but I doubt it. Do you think the Oilers should fire Dustin Schwartz?
Oh, you know what? I can't comment on the Oilers at all. You know, my grandpa unfortunately passed away last year, but he was the guy who kept me in the loop on everything that was happening with that team. And like, he'd phone me and, oh, the goddamn Oilers, and it'd either be good or bad. I don't know. But unfortunately, now that he's passed away, I have no idea what's happening with the Oilers, because I'm like so engulfed in our season and so busy with it that, you know, I just opened up Twitter and I'm like, oh, the Oilers fans are angry tonight.
Something happened.
So I'm sorry about your grandfather. That's sad. That's really bad.
That's how Charlie ended up in Kelowna. So he relocated from Edmonton. So it's okay.
Perfect. But I'm going to take that as a yes. So that's another one on our list of people that are happy that Dustin Schwartz is on the firing list. Let's hope.
Mark that one down, Chad. That counts as a vote.
Yep, that counts as a vote.
This theme.
Hashtag fire Dustin Schwartz.
This theme of his, it's never going to end. It's a constant.
Yeah, it will end.
It will end.
It will end. Justice prevails. It will end.
It will end. There will come a day it will end when that piece of crap is gone. It will end.
I've also reached out to Joaquin Gage, and if we get him on all these goalies that, oh man, he might actually get some answers with some of them, but he might not like what he hears back.
So on a back to topic note, I've read a lot of your work, and you're an excellent writer. I'm really impressed by you, and I think that Kelowna is definitely better because you're there. So congratulations to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I want to follow up with that there, Chad. I agree. I was on there as well. But is there a quota you have to meet when it comes to doing articles, or is this are you kind of left to your own tuition?
Yeah, it's kind of whatever I kind of want to do and where I want to go with it. And, you know, in the season, it's a little bit harder to do those player profiles because, you know, you're busy at school visits and you're writing pregame previews. And, you know, when you write those player profiles and stuff like that, you really want to take the time to dive into it and give it, you know, all your effort instead of, you know, just a, you know, bare minimum. So, but the summer, it's a little bit easier to start doing stuff like that because you've got so much extra time, right? The guys are gone, so you can't really make content around them while they're gone.
Well, I saw you hammered out like 5 of them on July 27th. So, like, wow, that was that a day you just did?
No, we just had a website migration, so it probably pushed them all through at that point. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. I guess we're drawing the late crowd because people are starting to tune in now. So maybe it's a good thing. Like everything works out for a reason that we shit the bed at the start. Paige, you know, they're giving you all this praise for your writing. Just wait till they get to know your sense of humor, because to me that's the best part of you. You are hilarious. I've always enjoyed, you know, talking to you and just seeing how you function, because you are an awesome individual.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Once she teaches me the Twitters, I might get to know her a bit better.
Yeah.
You sound like that old grandpa that calls it the Facebook. You're like the Twitter.
Listen. I struggle with the interwebs. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's right. Oh my is correct.
So do things start to ramp up now for you? Like when is training camp for WHL? Is it right around the corner here, or is it already starting?
So we open up our on ice sessions on the 31st.
Okay.
So ice goes in next week, and then things just start sliding down the hill from there.
What do you do for preparation for training camp for your role?
Yeah. How many pull-ups?
We're out here like crushing Timbits again. And it's a long 5 months with no Timbits. But yeah, no, the communication side of it. I mean, you get your rosters ready and everything like that. The beauty part of working in junior hockey is the turnover, right? Because you've got all those empty spots from guys moving on and everything. And anyways, you're just kind of trying to educate the fans on the newer guys that are coming in, a shot at making the roster, or prospects that'll be up and coming and potentially playing games with us this season.
But you don't know much about the new players coming in either. They're all coming in from minor hockey. So where are you getting all your information from?
Well, so the thing is, like, we draft our guys at 14, 15 here in the WHL. So they're kind of on our protected list. And so I kind of, I get to know them through that route. And then, just reaching out to them. Like today, for instance, I wrote an article on our first pick from the WHL prospects draft this past May. And, we've got the protected list and everything, and I've got all their phone numbers. And if I want to reach out to them, and then if you go to our website, you can see under our stats page, we have a prospect stats page, and that's kind of where I keep track of where they're all at and how they're doing. And so I'll know if a guy's had a really good month, because I go in and every month and update it. And okay, this guy's doing really well, so maybe I should touch base with him and see how he's doing. And just kind of like that, it's kind of keeping an eye on the next generation coming in, just to keep everybody excited.
So in the junior hockey world, how much of an impact do you have in the social media world on these guys getting looked at and getting big looks?
I'm not too sure how much attention NHL teams pay to us when they're doing their digging on the guys and so forth. But our TikTok in the last few years has really taken off. Some of our guys, they've got videos that have over 1 million views. We've got one guy who just smiles and he's missing a tooth and it got 1 million views. And we've got another guy that he went to a school visit, and it's his billet mom's school classroom that he visited, and he's playing four corners with the kids. And I think that video probably had like 500,000 views at one point. And just it's creating those connections with the guys so that they trust you when you're making the content around them, that it's going to represent how they want it to look.
Yeah, because I think the future of the NHL, or the current NHL, is very much in tune with an image for guys, right? So I think you play a very pivotal role for these players coming up.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's getting them comfortable at our level so that when they make it to the next level, they jump into the media person's hands there, and they know what to do because they've experienced it here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We got a question from our boy Angel in California that always watches our show, but sometimes is late and apologizes after. But
I got a better question than his, but that's fine.
Yeah, so he's wondering if we're watching the U.S. Amateur down in Beverly Hills, and if there's anybody we're rooting for going into the quarterfinals. I gotta say, I'm not watching, but I haven't. But I do like women's hockey. I just wish they were allowed to body check. That's my beef with it.
I don't have cable, so I miss all of it.
So on a different golf question, though, did you see Bad shoot 58?
No.
Yeah, there was the most amazing golf round I've ever watched in my life when Bryson DeChambeau shot 58. It was incredible.
Really?
It was unbelievable golf.
Yeah. Like
the best I've ever seen. And I'm a Tiger fan, and I'm also a Brooke Henderson fan. So tell me you're a Brooke Henderson fan too, please.
Absolutely. You can't help.
Yeah, go Brookie! Sorry, Angel, we're not watching the women's amateur in Beverly Hills.
I'm sure it's fantastic, but
I'm sure it's
Really?
good.
Probably is.
Yeah.
haven't tuned in.
I don't even know if we get that in Canada, dude, on any channels.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I get some updates, but yeah, I've been watching the women's the women's Open actually, and they just finished in Scotland. Now they're heading over to England to do their fun times.
Yeah.
We're picking up viewers as we go here, but I think we'll run for about 50 minutes. We're 35 in. We'll try to keep it a little bit shorter. I want to be courteous of Paige's time because she's pretty busy. It's funny, like I said, like before, it crapped out the first time. This is how I have all my friends over. Just invite them on the podcast and have a chat.
Yeah,
It works good.
So who is your favorite golfer?
I've got to think about that. You know, like I don't follow it super closely anymore. Again, I don't have cable. That's my issue. I don't have cable. But you know what? Like Rory, when I was growing up, oh shoot, I'm blanking right now.
Tiger, obviously.
Obviously Tiger. Ricky Fowler. Sorry, I was blanking. I was like the guy that wore all orange. Ricky Fowler. Like I had a really flat swing when I was growing up, and you know a lot of instructors they were like you can't swing like that, and yeah, but he was swinging like that, so why can't I swing like that, right? So he was kind of and same thing. Like I mean Phil, right? I'm a lefty, so
Me too.
Me too.
Yes, lefty pals.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm going to get controversial here and say I can swing both ways.
I'm not surprised.
We're not talking about other things, Dirsa.
We're still talking about golf, Dirsa.
I'm talking about golf.
Yeah, Ricky's one of my favorites too. I love the guy. He's got a great temperament, and he's good for the game. I think he just finished winning. What the hell did he just win? Genesis? No, he won something pretty big anyway. Oh, yeah. He won the Scottish.
Yeah.
No, Rory won the Scottish.
No, there was that one tournament though. He hadn't won in like a whole bunch of years. It was, yeah.
So it was good for him. What's your thoughts on Live versus the PGA? Do you think that's that was it should be as controversial as it is?
You know, I feel bad for the guys that stuck it out for the PGA and ultimately made the right choice sticking it out for the PGA, and then in the end, I was rooting for the PGA guys. That's who I was rooting for.
Well, and so are you on the mindset that the live golf was good for the PGA because the PGA had to actually pay purses?
I think so. I mean, in the end, I think it was somewhat good for golf, but I mean, in the sense like seeing guys cross to go to the other side, I mean, in the end, it all worked out, right?
Yeah. You're right. You're not wrong. I don't get too much into the controversy of things, but I love seeing that the PGA had to finally, start paying their players higher purses. That made me happy.
Yeah, I mean the meme content that came out of it was pretty good. So.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, go Bob. You haven't been this quiet ever. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, where do we even begin on that topic? That's a different show in itself. We're gonna start talking about what's wrong with me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Paige, I was wondering though on the golf thing. What's the strength of your game? What's the strongest part of your game? Do you feel
for golf?
Golf?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can drive the ball a mile. I have no short game.
So you're like Chad.
Screw you. I know a golf teacher.
I can drive the ball a mile too, but then it makes a serious hard right turn, and I can't recover. So, yeah.
It's funny.
But I can putt.
I can pull off the trick shots really well. Stack the balls on top of each other, hit the 7-iron, get the ball to pop up and down. And my college coach would be like, "Why can't you focus on the chipping side of it now?" You know what? 10 years later, it's the trick that impresses everybody.
right?
Yeah, there you go.
True.
Yeah.
Just ask Garrett Clark at Good if the trick shots make you money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My go-to recovery move is turning my club like vertical and just knocking it out.
Angel, just hit a fucking 9-iron, brother. Just hit a 9-iron.
My favorite club in my bag is my Husqvarna. I think I need it a lot more.
Actually, the trees are the funnest part because when you get in them enough, you get to learn how to be Phil and play more creative.
Yeah, I turned my club up.
I like to think of the fairways as just a suggestion.
The fairway is where you're supposed to walk. The rest of it is where you're supposed to play.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So, Paige, what was it like going to school in the States? Just out of curiosity, how did you enjoy that situation?
Yeah, I was there for 2011 to 2013. And you know what? It didn't feel like a different country at some points until I saw like an American flag flapping somewhere. It was good. The food was good. There's a few things that I miss about it. I miss Sonic the Drive-In. I miss biscuits and gravy. But yeah, it was a great experience. I made some of my best friends down there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, my brother never came back. He lives in Florida now.
And you know what? If I could have gotten a green card, I probably would still be down there. But it's to get a green card is really, really hard.
Yeah, he married a woman. Sorry, Chris, throwing you under the bus, but we all know how you did it.
Your cheat code has been exposed.
Yep.
So the social media and PR side of it in the WHL, do you guys kind of have like a little community going there? Like, how's your relationship with the other social media outlets for the other teams?
Yeah,
she hates families, obviously.
We all know each other, and it's funny. A lot of us, some of my best friends work around the league, and we've had a little bit of fun with it. Like on trade deadline last year, trade deadline day, we didn't have a trade going down, and texted one of my buddies, and I said, "Do you guys have any trades going on?" And she goes, "No, we're not. We don't have anything going on." So we scheduled a trade between the two teams for. We gave them. It was an American team, so we gave them a bag of cheesies, and they gave us a Mr. Goodbar. And then we fully completed the trade. Like they sent up the Mr. Goodbar, and then our coach, we put Mr. Goodbar on the bench kind of thing for some stuff, and then our coach took him into the room and cut him and opens up the thing, takes a bite out of him, and that's the end of Mr. Goodbar. So the buy-in from everyone around the organization is really good as well too.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So how's Kelowna going to do this year?
You know what? We've got some really big additions coming in. We've got a couple big returning pieces here. We've got so Andrew Crystal, he was just drafted by Washington there in the second round, and his talent is just unbelievable. It's unmatched. If you go watch the videos, I mean, when we drafted him in 2020, I remember saying to people like, "This kid is going to be a lot of fun," and that's exactly what he's been while he's been here. He can make something out of nothing with the puck. That's what he told me in my first interview with him, and it's exactly what he's done while he's been here. We were down 1-0 against the Portland Winterhawks in our first game against them a few years ago during Andrew's 16-year-old season, and he's behind the net. And he's 16 playing in our league, and he's pulling off the lacrosse move and scoring. Just things that, and he's super talented. And we've got Caden Price. He was a 3rd-round pick of Seattle, and he's coming back. And we've got, a big goaltender in Jari Kikkonen, who he just attended the Flames development camp. And then we've got a couple big pieces that we've added this year. So we've got Tej Ginla, so Jerome's son, we traded for him. And then we've got another young player coming up, Hiroki Goisik. He just signed with us. He was playing with Penticton in the BCJHL last year. So I think it's going to be a really exciting year for our team.
So when Jerome comes to watch his son, you're going to have to talk to him for us so we can get him on. And I'm going to have to give him a hard time because we actually quietly or loudly want him to wear an Oilers jersey at some point because he was more Edmonton Oilers than he was Calgary Flame.
His youngest son, Joe, is actually drafted by the Oil Kings.
Yeah, I'm feeling my date right now. How old I am that he's not playing in the dub, and it's kind of getting irritating. So I'm out.
Hey, we just drafted 2008. How's that mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm out.
2008.
I got to go find my walker and walk my way back into my bedroom.
Oh man, that really.
So yeah, I think we've got an exciting year coming up. We've got a younger team, but there's a lot of exciting pieces.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish you guys the best for sure.
Yeah.
So what's your personal professional goal, Paige? Where do you want to see this taking you?
Honestly, right now, I'm really thankful to be a Rocket. Like back in 2016 when I was emailing them to become an intern, I honestly didn't even think I was going to be able to get a job in real world job. I was still working at Starbucks, trying to get my foot in the door somewhere. And, I'm really happy to be here right now. And I just don't really want to plan out my life in black and white down the line, because sometimes it doesn't happen and it's kind of frustrating. So you try and live in the moment right now and enjoy what's happening. And I'm just incredibly thankful that the Hamilton family and the Rockets have given me the opportunity to live out the dream of working for them.
Yeah, that's definitely a page of hard work. No pun intended.
Bullshit.
That's great. I wish Kelowna the best. Go Blazers, go! And,
oh man, you know what? Noah, my middle son, had a tournament in Prince George, and I'd never been there before, and I go there, and I gotta say, the best thing about Prince George, BC, is actually going to where the Cougars play and walking around the rink, and on their poles they have like past players and seeing Chara and stuff like that. Other than that, man, I don't care if I ever go to Prince George again in my life. You're way better off to be in Kelowna. Like, oh man. And there went any chance of us having any Prince George, BC listenerships, but I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great place to be. In the summer we've got Fridays off to make up for all the hours that we work in the winter, and it's definitely a 4-season playground here. I'll tell you that.
Do you go on the road?
It's definitely good for golf.
I don't know. You know what? I work right from here on this couch and stream the game up on the TV and live tweet as I go. So, and then our equipment manager, he sends me stuff on the road so people think I'm there. That's the tricks behind the scenes. Now you guys know my secret.
That's awesome. Knowing the right friends, I love it.
So
it's funny. I'll get phone calls from the league because something will be going down, or we've got a promotion coming up or something, and they'll be like, "So how's Winnipeg?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "Well, you just posted it like 25 minutes ago for Winnipeg," and I'm like, "No, I'm not there. Tim sent me the photo."
Do you not even just take one trip a year?
No, you know what? Last year I flew home to Edmonton. We were playing the Oil Kings, and I didn't want to make the road trip all the way through Alberta, right? So I flew home on the day before, and then came in, worked the game, and I spent the weekend with my family and flew back the following week. And you know what? That was actually, that's probably one of my top 5 moments in the Western Hockey League, was being able to attend a game there, because going down that visiting tunnel and seeing I didn't realize they had put the plexiglass in there where the visiting team comes out of the tunnel, so they can't actually high five you and stuff like that. So it was being up in the press box. I have such an appreciation for everyone that works for the Oilers up in the press box there, because they're ants. You can hardly read the numbers on the jersey. One of our guys, he scored, and I tweet out that it's this one player, and then I watched the replay and I'm like, oh my god, somebody tipped it, but I can't see that from up there.
Yeah, they rely heavily on Sportsnet camera crews.
Yeah, and you know what? The best pre-game meal in the league was there. I had some of the best mashed potatoes in my life.
So you're a fan of Rogers, is what you're saying?
Big fan of Rogers. It was the only downside is it was February and it was like minus 44, and I was not loving it.
I'm with you on that one as well.
Yeah. But it was pretty crazy walking into that rink. I hadn't been in there in a number of years. And so we walk in and I look up and I'm like, wow, this is and I mean, I've attended Oiler games before I came back, but I was like, I don't remember the big screen being this big.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, my uncle used to coach the Dallas Stars, and he was the same way. When he came to town, he would text me and say, like, wow, like this rink is something special.
yeah.
So you kind of hit on something there, Paige. You said that's one of your top 5 moments. I'm really interested to hear what your number 1 moment is for being in WHL.
Oh no. Just being in the league in general is probably the top moment. I've been here for a couple of really big games and a lot of fun, and a lot of players have been through here. I've had the opportunity to work with Cal and Nolan Foote, so Adam Foote's sons. Adam Foote was our coach here briefly. A lot of good players have come through here. I've had the opportunity to be around them before they make it up to the next level. And also in that top 5 is I got to go to the 2019 NHL draft there in Vancouver, because it was just in our backyard here. So just getting to see the behind the scenes there too, even in Vancouver, and being around that and seeing how the draft works. And it's just it's interesting being around NHL teams too in that atmosphere, and seeing how they're pumping out content and doing things, and a greater appreciation for what their media teams do. Because before I worked in the league, I didn't realize how that stuff worked, and I was a little bit judgmental. And then you go in and you're working and you're like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, it's usually the best way to. It's usually the best way to become humble is to see how it really goes.
We've all got an opinion until you see it.
Is your like I said, armchair GMs are not Ken Holland.
Sorry, Paige. Is your season really full, or can we pull you away for an hour sometime during the season and have you back?
Yeah, if you want to touch base with me, we've got pockets that are kind of empty here and there, and if you just let me know, yeah.
Yeah, we'll revisit this, because Chad's giddy like a schoolgirl getting to talk golf with somebody. So.
Guys will be asking you, so how does the trade work? that's incredibly fair. You know what? I never understood how leaks could happen. How it gets out to Elliot Friedman and whatnot. But you know what? Once you see how it works, you get it. Like it's a lot of sensitive information, and I have a much better appreciation for it now that I work within the league and see how things work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if junior hockey is a little bit more tight-lipped with that kind of thing than the NHL too.
They're minors, right? So you got to keep that in mind, and it's not just uprooting them for half a season. They're going there potentially for 2-3 years, right? And yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. I guess. If you guys have one more for her, go ahead, and if not, I'll shut her down. But I'll leave that with you.
I feel like I took over the show, so I'm good.
I got one quick one. Paige, did you ever play hockey? Organized hockey?
Of course he does.
Yeah,
of course he has.
I played a little Timbit hockey when I was little, and wasn't very good at it, and then. I grew up I grew up in St. Albert, so you could just walk right up to the outdoor rinks there and play, and grew up playing with the kids around the block. I think that's the most fun I probably had, playing hockey. And then, I played a little bit when I was a teenager, but then I got really good at golf. And so it was kind of like you had to pick one or the other, and golf was going to take me a heck of a lot further than hockey ever was. So picked that route. And I still play ball hockey here, and I still play a little bit of ice hockey here and there, kind of in Kelowna. I throw on the pro stock gear, and everybody thinks I'm going to be really good, and I'm really not. Showing up in my Rockets helmet, my Rockets pants, my Rockets gloves, and I'm not a Rocket.
But throw a Sim Max in your hand and you're just fine.
Yeah. Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Paige.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really enjoy chatting with you tonight.
I got to confess, I reached out to you because you're my friend, and I wanted to talk to you and pull you away, and you always make me laugh, and I appreciate that. But I really need help with the female demographic on this podcast. We're drawing like 0 females, so you're gonna help me, Paige. You're gonna help me.
Hey, I'm here to help. but I'm happy to give everybody the Charlie update. Everybody just wants to know how Charlie is. He's the star.
I'm just glad that long separation is over and your man is back with you.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He is a good dude, and you know you're at peace now, so it's good. And I remember before you got the job in Kelowna, and you know you were trying so hard to kind of crack that egg and kind of get your start. And you know, nothing but gratitude and happiness for you that you know you're having success out there, and all the best.
Hey, you know what, Mike? I appreciate you, and I appreciate you supporting me all the way through my little blogging days and trying to get my foot in the door, and you guys rooting me on, because I wouldn't be where I am without you guys today.
Well, you deserve it. I mean, it was kind of like a beaver, always, you know, chopping at wood, trying to build that dam, and then it finally worked for you. So I'm happy for you. Thanks for coming on, and yeah, anytime we'll get you back when it works for you, because this was fun. Support the Heavy Hockey Network. Lots of articles are getting pumped out now. The guys are writing up storms. Lotsberg, Kirk, Josh from Tough Call. Dashney's supposed to be putting out an article. I'm going to do one on kind of, we had Rob Schremp on a couple of weeks ago, and Rob on a different podcast kind of said that he would be a little bit of a clown in the dressing room, but really he was doing that as a way to mask kind of like depression and kind of the stress of being a junior hockey player and all of that. And, you know, I think it's great that somebody of his stature, you know, was allowed himself to be vulnerable and put himself out there to try to help other people. So I'll write something on that too. Anyways, you can follow us. We're on every platform on social media. Everything is 97 Octane Hockey, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Our YouTube channel is 97 Octane Hockey 2, and these podcasts all go on to Spotify for video, and that's cool because if you're watching on your phone, you can watch it on your phone, but if you got to do something else with your phone, then it switches to the audio and back and forth, and it's great. And then Spotify automatically sends it to iTunes and Google and Amazon and all those guys, so we're everywhere. We're coming at you. Anyways, have a good night. Thanks again, Paige. You can stick around backstage. I'm sure Chad will want to talk to you for a minute, and we'll get out of here. Good night, everybody. Keep your sticks on the ice. Keep reaching for the stars. Go Oilers, go.